What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers had their first preseason game, and obviously didn't go how planned, but it's first preseason game. You didn't have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood. You played a lot of just like the G League guys. Like 90% of the minutes taken up were by guys that aren't even going to really see the basketball court much, if at all, for the Lakers. Same thing with Minnesota. I mean, even their starters only played like 10 minutes. It was basically bench guys against bench guys, right? Things are very different. Learn a new system. Guys didn't shoot the ball well. Like Austin Reaves really had his struggles. I know he was 2 of 5 from 3, but he was 2 of 9 from the field total. He had 16 points, but it came from the free throw line. All his points came from the free throw line. He was 10 of 10 from the foul line. Rui Hachimura really struggled shooting the basketball. D'Angelo Russell was okay, but outside of the young guys, the young bucks, Dalton Connect really stood out. Max Christie was fantastic. Jalen Hood-Schifino really is starting to look much more comfortable out there and looking like an actual NBA player. Right? The young guys really balled out, but it also is what they were supposed to do, given that they were given the majority of the minutes. However, we're not going to be super reliant this season on Connect, Max Christie, especially Jalen Hood-Schifino. I'll see how much Jalen Hood-Schifino even plays at all this year, just because how many guards we have. But you look at Dalton Connect, I imagine, is going to play a role. Same thing with Max Christie. Both guys are expected to be significant pieces in this rotation with the Lakers this year. However, they're your 7th, 8th guy rather than your 3rd, 4th guy, right? They're not going to be as relied upon as the main 3 guys that are in the starting unit outside of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they're going to handle their business. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. They're the superstars. They're LeBron James and Anthony Davis, 2 top 10, at worst, top 15 guys in the league. But we go as far as our other guys take us. You saw that last year for all these teams, right? Lakers role guys show up, or Lakers role guys failed to show up. Denver's do. Guess what? Lakers go home. Denver's role players failed to show up against Minnesota, right? I mean, it was so bad. Mike Malone had to come out and like defend Michael Porter Jr. and stuff like that, right? They end up going. Minnesota's role guys step up. Denver goes home. Dallas, their role guys show up. Minnesota's don't. Minnesota goes home. The Boston Celtics play the Dallas Mavericks. Their guys show up. Dallas's doesn't. All of a sudden, Dallas goes home. We need D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reaves, and Rui Hachimura to be the best versions that they can be for this Lakers team. Now, look, trade needs to happen, all that. I get it. I want one too, right? But until one happens, we are incredibly reliant on D'Lo, Reaves, Rui Hachimura. Now, again, I want to keep things in perspective. It was the first preseason game of the season, right? You didn't have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Things open up and are a lot easier when those two are on the basketball court, or even just one of them are on the basketball court. But you also are learning a new system and a new offense. I mean, you saw how many actions the Lakers ran. I mean, they were stacking actions, right? Like, they were running all kinds of different sets, real offense, and I love to see it. I mean, the first play was right out of Dan Hurley's playbook, wide open look for Rui Hachimura. Right, you kind of go down the list of all the things that we saw in that game. It was very impressive, right? Guys got to hit shots, though, because just like I mentioned, you got the wide open look for Rui Hachimura, and he didn't knock it down. We need these guys to knock it down. Now, I liked how Austin Reaves was more aggressive. It was something that I talked about heavily all season last year, about how his lack of aggression is killing this team, right? Because he was incredibly inconsistent and couldn't shoot. He really struggled to shoot the 3 and just shoot, period, right? And again, he was 2 of 9 last season, or last night. But you look at how he was in attack mode, creating contact, getting to the foul line. Like, that's the Austin Reaves we need. We need the Austin Reaves that's not settling. When you're hot, take it. You're shooting light, take it. But when the shot isn't falling, Don't be afraid to just put the ball on the deck and get to the basket. We need these guys to be aggressive. We need these guys to look for their shots. We need these guys to handle the business. Right? Like, these three are incredibly relied on. We need these three to be the best version possible. The starting five, look, I don't have any concerns about the starting five as far as the offensive side of things go, but I do worry about the defense. Rui, Reaves, and D'Lo are not great defensive guys. Can they at least be serviceable? Right? Like, Austin Reaves was serviceable defending last night. No one's asking or looking for him to be elite or anything like that, but you need him to be good enough. Same thing with D'Lo. Can D'Lo just be serviceable enough? D'Lo had a block, a steal. He was active, right? That's good. That's what you want to see. But we saw when this team isn't cooking on the offensive end, it really creates problems because we can't stop anybody. Right? Like, you got to have that balance. Right? I liked what we saw from D'Lo. 21 minutes, gave you 14 points, was running the offense. Right? Shot 50% or over 50% from the floor, 40% from three, all that. Right? Reaves made some plays, grabbed some rebounds, hit some free throws. I had a couple steals, but Rui Hachimura, he wasn't great, right? We need more from these guys. We need these guys to work harder on both sides of the basketball, right? We need these guys to take the pressure off of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Right? There's just so much, like, again, LeBron and AD, they're going to be LeBron and AD. They're going to show up. They're going to play their game. You're going to be able to count on them night in and night out. But you also, you want to try to make it to where they don't have to give you 60 a night. And if they do, you win all those games. Right? Like, obviously, the role guys. And the role guys for reasons. You're going to have inconsistencies. You're going to have, good nights and bad nights. But the good nights need to outweigh the bad nights, right? Like, you need to have that balance. I love the confidence from guys like Max Christie, even Jalen Hood-Schifino, Dalton Knecht, obviously. I mean, Dalton Knecht's the guy that's kind of getting all the praise, which he should. He's the rookie, right? He's the guy that continues to really impress. Even LeBron was talking about how he's ready. LeBron and AD are supposed to debut for JJ Redick in the preseason game against the Suns, so the game that's coming up, right? Like, that's great. You want to see that. You want to see what does it look like? How does the offense look? How is everything flowing? But you also want to see what can this team do without those two? Right? Like, what happens when LeBron and AD get a night off? What happens when they're sitting on the bench? Yeah, you could stagger them so one is always on the court, but still, like, it'd be nice to be able to get these guys as much rest as possible. Now, it'd be nice to be able to throw, a 5-man unit that isn't made up of Anthony Davis and LeBron James out there on the basketball court, and they can hold their own and, extend a lead or get you back in the game or at least maintain. Not just like, every time LeBron is off the court, Lakers terrible, right? Because that's what you kind of looked like last year. Now, we won some games without LeBron last year. We didn't really win. We only won, one without Anthony Davis? And that was the Celtics game, which was incredibly surprising. But how much of that was just Celtics just kind of came in going, we're going to blow these guys out, and the Lakers showed up, right? Like, it's just, we need to see more from these guys. We need to see more from D'Angelo Russell. We need to see more from Austin Reaves. We need to see more from Rui Hachimura this year. We need to see consistency. We need them to score the basketball. We need them to make plays. We need them to rebound. We need them to do a little bit of everything. Right? Like, D'Lo is coming off a career year. That's great. It's great. But you need to maintain that. On top of maintaining that, we need you to at least be serviceable defensively. Same thing with Rui. And at media day was talking about, I could defend 1 through 5. You couldn't last night. You were getting torched by everybody. He doesn't navigate screens well. He doesn't read the court well, right? Like, his decision-making at times. And look, I like Rui a lot. Rui is a guy that I think if he was like your primary scoring option, could go get you 22 to 25 a night. Right? If he was like your second or third option, I think he'd go get you, again, 17 to 25. Right? If he, depending on where he's at as far as like, second or third option. Right? But he's not. Right? But still, like, that's fine. Which is why we don't expect him to go get 20, 25 every night. Right? And it's how he's paid and all that stuff, right? But he's still a big piece. We still need him to be the best version of himself possible. We still need him to be able to defend, knock down shots, do a little bit of everything. And hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he can kind of, just be better going forward. Again, I understand it's the first preseason game. I don't want to be too critical. But it didn't look great from these guys. It just didn't. I think D'Lo had the best game out of the three. But it wasn't like one of those things where it's like, man, D'Lo was just unbelievable. No, it was like all three of them need to be better. Right? We need to see a better game from these three guys. You got blown out, which, it's fine. You were competitive. You started off terrible. You got back into the game. It was competitive. And then, the G League team got ran through, right? Because it was close going into the fourth. But, in those first 3 quarters where, Reaves and all these guys played their 25 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes, you wanted to see more. A little more consistency, a little more efficiency, just a little better production. But, again, we'll see how it plays out. Only the first game. As always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Agree with my point? Disagree with my points? Do you think, they're fine. It's okay. Bad game. It happens. Do you think, no, this is definitely something to kind of monitor and keep an eye on? I'm not saying, Lakers are cooked. That's it. It's over. I'm not saying anything like that. But definitely something to kind of keep an eye on here. Definitely something that you want to, make sure that it doesn't continue and be persistent. But how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.